I don't smoke weed. No, I'm a good girl.
Of course, I'm from Colorado.
I've never had sex while smoking.
I've had sex a lot high on weed.
Do I think marijuana makes sex better? I think marijuana makes a lot of things better, sex and food being two of the biggest ones.
In my experience, marijuana usually tends to relax me and my partner. I've known a lot of guys who told me that they get hornier when they smoke weed, and I was very confused at this because it used to dry me out, and I learned later on that that was actually my birth control.
It does make sex better. I think there's a sort of relaxedness to it. There's also like a sense of heightened like sensitivity. There's like a open-mindedness to it, I think. What do you think also kind of comes with being like relaxed?
I do, but at the same time I don't, because I get really sleepy. Like even on sativas, not just indicas, I get sleepy. So it's like, yeah, it feels better, but honestly, it kind of makes me want to roll over and go to sleep quicker, whereas I'm usually an Energizer bunny who can go all night. So I don't know, would I prefer doing it sober or fucked up?
Marijuana does not make sex better. And I know this because I'm an avid stoner. Okay, I smoke weed every single day. When I smoke weed, I get cotton mouth, so my mouth is dry as fuck. There's no blowjobs gonna be happening. Like, I'll have to get some coconut oil and give you a handy before we start. But my mouth is really dry, and so that means like my girl is really dry, even though I might be really turned on. It's just no moisture there.
It depends on the kind of marijuana you're smoking. I mean, if you're smoking like a sativa, then yeah, it might make it better because you're more like alert and aware and like awake in a way. But I mean, other ones, you know, like especially like indicas, you're kind of just like, ugh.
Last night, I toked up a little bit, and it got me feeling, you know, kind of like give you that little aphrodisiac feeling. You're like, God, you know, like you kind of feeling it, you know, you're getting a little horny, little things. It kind of opens you up to be a little more flirtatious and kind of, you know, sassy. But then it's almost like after that effect, it hits you, or say you smoke too much, then I'm just useless. I'm like, you wanna have sex?
I don't think I've ever smoked and had sex, actually. I think that would probably be really fun. I see how that could make sex better, but I've never experienced it.
Marijuana does make sex better in a way, but it does make you really tired after sex. So I guess it makes sex more relaxing.
I think marijuana makes sex terrible. It dries up my mouth and it makes me want to go to sleep. I don't smoke anything. I used to smoke marijuana on occasion, but I had blood clots in my lungs last year, so I couldn't even smoke it if I wanted to. So now when I want to get a nice little buzz, I just have some Tito's vodka.
I've only had sex once when I had an edible and didn't like smoke. And it definitely made it better. And the only thing it's funny because I remember having sex and the guy I was fucking kept saying, man, you're coming really fast. And he comes and he goes to me and he looks up at me and he's like, either you're really easy to make come, which is true, or I'm just that good. And I was so stoned. I was like, yeah.
You know, it depends. If you're a little high, I guess, yes. If you're really high, no. It's like anything else. You consume too much of something, it's gonna fuck. It's like whiskey dick.
I don't really notice a marked difference between my sexual experiences with marijuana involved versus without. It doesn't seem to increase or decrease libido in any way, shape, or form.
Yes, marijuana makes sex better, depending on the strain, of course. Because sometimes there are strains that just make you super lazy and like just want to stuff your face full of food. And some strains give you energy and make things feel like really good everywhere, full body.
It's not a horniness enhancing experience for me. Usually it's more sit alone in silence and contemplate the meaning of life type thing for me.
I think marijuana can make sex better and make it last longer, and if it's one that I don't smoke a lot of marijuana because I don't. I only started smoking it more to help like relax and go to sleep at night. But times I have smoked marijuana and had sex, it made it kind of cool and I don't know, all tingly and different and everything, but it's not a normal thing for me. So I think if you do it, just smoke the right marijuana and it could be awesome. And if you smoke the wrong one, it could be like very hyper and kind of awkward and disturbing.
I cannot have sex while smoking. I just can't do it. I become just like a smooth Barbie doll down there. There's no holes. It's the last thing on my mind. So I'm not one of those people.
My marijuana days are over since when I was younger. I was either sleepy or paranoid, so it didn't work with me. I'd say for me, no, but for other people, I hear all the time people love it. I like a glass of wine.
I think that marijuana makes everything better, including sex.
I can't even answer that because I don't smoke really. Girls are like, let's get high. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I like do the fake smoke because I just don't like to get high.
Marijuana can make sex better depending on who you're having sex with and the situation in which you're having sex and the strain of weed that you're smoking before you're having sex, because it does stimulate the pleasure centers of your brain, and it makes, like touching things more sensitive and everything.
For me, personally, marijuana enhances sex because it makes my back not hurt all the time. I'm actually able to concentrate on the sex other than, oh my God, I slept wrong, this is awful. It definitely can be an enhancement or it can be a detractor depending on how paranoid you get.
I think that marijuana does not do good when you're shooting a porno because I think you get a little bit too into it and then you forget like positions and how to stay open to the camera and stuff. But in your personal life, I think is a great add-on.
Yes, from what I remember. I don't really partake, but I do recall.
Sometimes marijuana makes sex better. It depends on who the sex is with. But I feel like if the sex is good, it's gonna be good anyway.